Hi everyone, this is a VR for Jess Piping. Congratulations on hitting 1,000 subscribers. In his video, he talked about this, talking about a memory that you have with your first vehicle or any form of transportation. And for me, it would be a car. It was my first manual transmission car. It was a Ford Probe. If I'm not mistaken, it was a 1997, I think. Been a while already. That was a 97. I didn't know how to drive stick shift, and I had to learn very, very quickly. Matter of fact, it was over the course of just 2 days of learning. On the second night, it was with an old friend of mine, and we were behind a grocery store. And in the middle of me learning, driving it, his father calls him, and I think the call was something about picking up dog food or some type of groceries for the house. And my friend explains, "Hey, I'm in the middle of teaching my friend how to drive a car." And the thing is, earlier before that, I picked him up in another car that was an automatic car. I picked him up there. My plan was to drive him back home in the automatic car. So we were just learning, and then he was teaching me. And like I said, his father called, said, "You need to go do this right now." And he's like, I'm in the middle of teaching my friend. It doesn't matter. Get over here, do it now. So he goes, "Hey, you need to take me home right now, right now." And I'm like, but we're in this car. I can't drive that to the other side of town. The town I used to live in is a really big town. And to get from one side to another, you had to go over bridges because there was a freeway that would go. So you had to go over bridges. Only one of the bridge was where you can go over it, and there wasn't a light. All the other bridges had lights on them where you'd be like this, and there was just one that you could go over it without hitting the light. So even though it was kind of a little bit way out, went to that one. So I did it, barely knowing how to drive at all. Somehow, through the grace of God, I was able to get over there, go over the bridge, come back down, and but that drive back home alone, it ended up clicking. First gear was definitely hard, and then once you pass first gear, you go to second and third, it gets pretty easy. My biggest fear was having an incline and then going backwards, right? So I did end up learning very quickly how to drive that. I think I want to say in about a week after that, I got into the freeways, and from there, everything just went smoothly. Up until a little while after that, my car, my Ford Probe, had a little problem where the e-brake would not go all the way down. I would have to click it, it would go down, and the light would still show, and I'd have to kind of like slam it down. One time I was out with a friend, and we went up this mountain that was close by. And before that, I took her, I think, to go get like hot chocolate. It was cold during that time. It was very cold. We just went out and drive. We're like, "Hey, let's just go out for a drive. Let's get some like coffee or chocolate, hot chocolate," because she loved hot chocolate. And we'll just take a drive up the mountain. And on the way down, the little e-brake signal turned on. Like, "Oh, your handbrake is on." Well, as I'm driving down the mountain, we're driving back down, the light turns on, and when it turns on, it's when a corner starts to come around at the bend. And at that bend, that's when I try to take the e-brake down, because I panicked already at that point. I'm like, "Oh, I already know there's a bend coming. I need to put this down." And I wasn't paying attention, and I didn't get the e-brake down in time, and the car spun. It did like, I think, 360, turn. We could have went off the cliff. Another car could have hit us, but none of that happened. But the one thing that did happen is, as I mentioned earlier, she had hot chocolate. So all of her hot chocolate ended up spilling all over me. We're spinning, and as they're spinning, the hot chocolate's flying and hitting me all over while she stayed on nice and dry and with nothing on her. I had it just all on me, on the steering wheel, on the dashboard. It was crazy, and I just remember in that moment, one, we're alive. We didn't fall off the cliff. We didn't get hit by another oncoming car. And as we're like kind of assessing that, then we kind of also look at each other, and then I realize I have all this hot chocolate on me. And of course, we just start laughing. You know, seeing that we're fine. That car was an awesome car. I didn't even know there was such a thing as a Ford Probe. I mean, the name is kind of weird, right? Probe. But I did have a lot of fun with it. I did do a little bit of speeding with it. Found out really quickly that I would not sustain a car seat. And that's also when I saw I had to upgrade with it. You know, but the tires were also always going out. I was constantly blowing out tires. Probably because I was driving a little too fast and stuff, but still. But that's my memory. That's my memory with that car. With any car. I had other cars that were special, but this one here really was the most special to me because I had the most fun with it. And the biggest memories of almost dying and having to learn quickly how to drive it. Well, that's it. And again, congratulations, Jess Piping. I look forward to continue to see your channel grow. Oh, and by the way, I'm smoking out of my Rossi pipe, and I'm smoking some Firebird. All right, guys, have a great night. Bye-bye.